Broadcasting live from Columbus, the all-American city. This is All News, Channel 6 News, the spirit of Ohio, with Jim Finnerty, Michelle Gallion, Steve Minnick Sports, and meteorologist Larry Cosgrove's weather.
Good evening, everyone. It is the biggest state fair in the United States, and over the next 17 days, you might say Columbus is the agricultural heart of America. It will also be home to lots of people, Jim. You're right there on the state fair.
It certainly is, and we are out here. We are one of those people tonight. There were 3.4 million people who passed through the great gates here at the State Fairgrounds last year. They're hoping for 3.5 million people this year, but today there were some problems getting in. We're going to talk about that in just a moment, but elsewhere in town, of course, this is big news, but you have some other big news happening somewhere else. Yeah, that's right, Jim. We do. It was a real shock today. Cardinal Industries, the biggest manufacturer in Columbus, one of the leading builders in the country and a leader worldwide in the development of modular housing, has announced big layoffs. And here's the bottom line. We got a call late this afternoon from one employee who said he just got the slip. The whole second shift here on Hamilton Road laid off. Other sources tell us the entire plant will close tomorrow, and possibly further layoffs at the facility on Broad. We called Cardinal ourselves. A spokesman told us, yes, they would be laying off about 1,000 employees nationwide. That's about 10% of its workforce. It says new tax laws forced them to diversify. It went too quickly. But work continues on 50 major projects nationwide, and it hopes to bring everyone back to work as soon as possible. Cardinal has been a leader in the development of modular building for a long time. A delegation from China was here just this past winter to check out production to see how they might use some of the very same concepts. Cardinal says this is the first time in 24 years they have had to lay off anyone. Again, they hope it is just temporary. Well, the number's not looking good for the Furrows hardware chain either. In fact, they are so bad they're going to close all 4 stores here in Columbus by this fall. Now, that'll put some 250 people out of work, but other chains like Central Hardware are already thinking about giving some of those guys a job. Sad to see that Furrow is leaving, Jim, but on the other hand, there are lots of people coming into Columbus tonight, most of them for the Ohio State Fair. Certainly are. You know, the fair is something that a lot of people wait all year to see. Sure. But this morning, when a lot of people got here, well, they frankly couldn't get in. The State Fair schedule shows horse and craft exhibits starting this morning at 9 a.m. But when folks showed up, they were turned away and told not to come back until 6 o'clock tonight. Now, some of these people drove from out of town, out of state, even as far as Florida to get here. And they weren't taking this lightly.
I think it's the pit. Ticked off ain't the word for it, man.
They're hot. They come in here to park and they can't.
We found Fair Chairman Paul Corey, who said he was unaware of the problem. And Fair Manager Jack Faust said the problem was a small one.
I don't know. We've got other things to worry about besides that. So.
About a half hour after we told the fair management about the situation, people who already had tickets were allowed in, but everyone else was kept out. Obviously, a breakdown in communication somewhere. Well, let us hope that some of those changes which were made today will, of course, carry over to next year. But, you know, a lot of people who come to the State Fair every year, this is kind of a tradition. They come back because they like the same things year after year after year. But Mike Bowersock is high above us right now in Sky 6, and he's going to talk about some changes which will come up in next year's State Fair. Mike?
Yeah, Jim, and you're right. People come out here year after year, and they see the same thing. The cattle is where it was the year before. The same is true for the sheep, the rides, and the entertainment. But let me tell you, right below me is a parking lot, a grassy field full of cars, and that parking lot is going to be the catalyst for a lot of changes. A look at the scale model for the fairgrounds of the future shows a lot of new buildings and structures, some major renovation.
The biggest change in entertainment will come just to the north of the fairgrounds here, where they want to put that 18,000-seat amphitheater. You look out here today and you can see a lot of cars parked in the grassy area. Now, there are still some snares in the contract, but if you've picked up a recent edition of Variety magazine, you can see they've already started booking acts.
Which brings us the question of what will they do with the grandstand? Well, all indications are its days are numbered.
For a long time, the track and the grandstand has been the dominant feature out here. And with our removal of that, the architects can put a midway and a ramp straight through the middle of the fair.
By putting more rides where the grandstand is, the fair will attract more teenagers who have more disposable dollars. You see, they can throw away their money on stuff like Ferris wheels. And And with an amphitheater instead of a grandstand, you're looking at another change. It will no longer be free. There's a hint of that this year. The Chinese acrobats, for example, cost $3 a head. And convincing fairgoers used to free entertainment to start shelling out money, well, that may be the biggest trick yet. Now, I want to emphasize that that contract has not yet been signed. And, Jim, there is some concern that if they don't work out their problems before the end of the fair, it will not be ready by next year.
That's very interesting, Mike. But changes are something that we all go through in life. I think what everybody likes about the state fair is that there are some things that are a certainty. Of course, these kids on the Ferris wheel behind me are looking for the certainty of having those kinds of rides. But there are a couple of other changes this year. These changes caused by our continuing drought. Now, for one thing, a lot of the vegetables that you'll be seeing this year in the fair displays, well, they'll be just a little bit smaller than some of the blue ribbon winners have been in the past. Hot weather and, of course, our low water levels have affected a number of categories. But you will see an increase in the number of cattle available for auction at the fair this year. And for the same reason, a lack of hay. And the cost of feed is forcing some farmers to use a good chunk of that hay for their herds. Of course, the big topic is heat. We are all a little warm here. Temperatures today, Michelle, in the 90s. But elsewhere in town, other folks are worrying about the heat, too.
Yeah, you hanging in there, Jim?
I'm hanging in fine. I got a big Coke and an Italian sausage and some fries. I'm munching between
You're ready
reports.
to go, aren't you? All righty. We know that Jim is managing the heat pretty well, but for our elderly citizens, it's a whole lot tougher. Lots of them already have some sort of pre-existing medical problems, and the heat and the humidity can be more than just a nuisance, as Dr. Nelson Krause explains.
Nobody knows the effect that this weather can have on the elderly better than a public health nurse like Diana Goldsby.
The elderly patients I have that have respiratory difficulties, a lot of them are complaining of shortness of breath, especially with the high humidity.
Diana has a number of elderly patients here in Sawyer Towers, and none of them have air conditioning except in the meeting rooms on the first floor. And for people like Frank Gaffney, who has a heart problem, that first floor lounge offers a life-saving escape during the heat of the afternoon. Another Sawyer resident, Mary Bush, is a diabetic who is confined to her apartment most of the time, and the heat has caused some minor problems like a skin rash, but the stress of this weather may well change her daily insulin requirements, which are necessary to control her blood sugar levels. A couple quick guidelines. It seems like the heat is less outside than it is inside. I don't know how some of the elderly tolerate it. Here are some things they can do, though. A cool shower if they've got a bathtub. Put some cool water in the tub and actually get in the tub for 20 minutes or a half an hour. Use the fans. Drink plenty of fluids as long as it's non-alcoholic. And pray for cause to get us some cooler weather. For Channel 6 News, I'm Dr. Nelson Krause. Stay healthy.
Well, if you do suffer from respiratory problems, you've got to be wondering about all this air we are breathing. If you took a look outside at the shot of the Columbus skyline, it is so hazy you can barely make out some of the buildings right there. The fairgrounds looks pretty clear, but look downtown, I think you'd see a different sight. It's so hazy, you've got to be wondering, is it safe? The EPA tonight says, yes, it really is. The pollution level is really not all that bad. What you're seeing is caused by humidity right there, not the pollutants in the air. In fact, the air quality index today stands at 78, and they say that's basically moderate. Well, coming up, we'll take you to some of the snazziest super homes in Columbus. We go to Muirfield tonight in Mansions on the Market. And, Jim, what have you got for us?
Well, also tonight, we're going to show you something spectacular here that they are building at the Ohio State Fair. I don't think you're going to believe what you see. We'll do that still ahead.
It's a story as hot as today's headlines.
Tracy came out first, and Michael came out, and I was about 40 feet away.
They're on the ground and in the air. And if you're famous, they're looking for you.
I have people who are camped out at my house, who are going through my garbage, who are calling my telephone.
The stars tell what it's like to be stalked by the press on the next Entertainment Tonight. Plus, he was the life of the party in Beetlejuice. So why's Michael Keaton suddenly gone on the wagon? Find out on Entertainment Tonight.
Tonight at 7 on Channel 6.
All you need to know about great selection and low prices is here, inside the newest circular from True Value Hardware Stores.
Check out the Carnival of Value circular, where the 3M Sandpaper Value Pack is just $2.99. Get a 3M Scotch Guard Auto Cleaner Pack plus an Olympic cap for just $4.77. Hefty cinch sack trash bags are just $2.29 a box. And a Cervus indoor-outdoor floodlight is only $1.88 from participating True Value Hardware Stores and home centers.
Your Toyota dealer dares you to compare Ford and Toyota. Compare these 4x4s for engine size and horsepower. Dare to compare standard payload and cargo bed size, even ground clearance and towing capacity. Oh, and don't forget to compare their base price. The Toyota 4x is priced hundreds of dollars less than the Ford. So hurry into your Toyota dealer today. Your Toyota Town dealer is stealing the deals on the #1 selling import truck the past 8 years running. See why there is no comparison.
Sure, it's easy to play Super Lotto. The tough part is picking the right numbers. So I'm going to give you the winning numbers right now. It's the lottery's 14th birthday, and 56 people will share more than $1 million in prizes. You want your share? Send $14 worth of non-winning Super Lotto plays to 14th Anniversary Super Lotto Drawing, P.O. Box 78214, Cleveland 44102. Enter as often as you like. And don't worry, you can thank me later.
Some news about our health tonight. First of all, AIDS, and this is important. If you got a blood transfusion between 1977 and 1985, you may be getting a letter soon advising you to get an AIDS test. That's because they really didn't start screening blood until about 4 years ago, and there is a chance you could have received some infected blood, especially if you were treated in high-risk cities like New York or San Francisco. One way to stay healthy, eat lots of corn bran. That's according to researchers at Georgetown University who say if you eat it a lot, it can lower your cholesterol level. The only problem is you just can't find it around here. We called a couple of health food stores. They didn't have it on their shelves, neither did their suppliers, but they said they're going to try to find some now that the word is out. A lot of people think eating Chinese food is a healthy way to go, and Rax wants to be accommodating, so it's going to offer things like Szechuan chicken, chow mein, broccoli beef, oriental, or white rice. It is just experimental right now, only in 4 states here, and in 4 stores rather here and in West Virginia. So far, most people seem to like it, even though you don't get any chopsticks. Of course, there's always all kinds of food at the State Fair. I know I like the Dumbo ears the best. Jim, you've already said you've got a sausage sandwich.
I saw the Dumbo ears. I should bring some back for you.
Please do.
I'm not a big Dumbo ear fan, but the other things, there's plenty to eat here and some unusual sights, too. Take a look at this guy. Ooh. I think this is a guy I used to work with before. I think I recognize the face, but he's just one of an unusual, sort of a big sand castle. It's not even quite that. Walter Schwartz is with us right now. This is a sand castle per se, but this guy is not the sand dragon, is he?
No, he's not. This is a giant from Grimm's Fairy Tales.
Okay, and what are you building here, and how long will it take you to build it?
We're building Grimm's Fairy Tale Castle from the German flavor that Mad Ludwig II gave in Germany.
So this is going to be how tall, how wide, how much sand?
Well, it's about 30 feet high and nearly 1,000 tons of sand.
1,000 tons? Now, is it just you guys putting it all together?
Yeah, there's 6 of us working on it right now, and next week we may even have some volunteers.
So if you want to come down and you're over 16, you can do some sand work, huh?
Yeah, if you've made a castle and you're proud of it, come show us your skills.
Okay, thank you, Walter. I'll let you get back to work. You know, this is a spectacular sight and will be. But tonight, Kim Norris continues her series on mansions on the market with a spectacular sight, not fireworks, but up in Muirfield.
Located off the 3rd Fairway in Muirfield, this outrageous home is equipped with cedar decks that span the entire house. Plenty of skylights and windows in every direction. Grassy-type plants surround the backyard and indicate the interesting interior. It's a mix of Oriental and contemporary flash. Looking down into the great room from the 2nd floor, you see section couches, ornate decorations, and big, bright spaces. A half-wood, half-stone, 2-story fireplace fills the room. Catch a few Z's on a beautiful chased lounge, or look out onto the 3rd pin of the golf course as you snooze. Now, the kitchen is much like the rest of the house, Oriental in design, with a bamboo curtain rod, a ceiling fan, and delicate china. And one of the most beautiful dining areas I've seen yet, a shiny white Buddha looks into a glass tabletop surrounded by mahogany chairs. A stark centerpiece accents the entire room. Now in the bedroom is more of the same. A carved enclosed bed sits across from a big entertainment or storage area. Wall dividers separate the room with flair, etched with ducklings and flowers. Downstairs is an unbelievable entertainment area that spans almost 30 square feet. And just a few steps away is a wine cellar stocked with some of the finest wines you can imagine. At a price of $895,000, this is just one of the mansions on the market. Kim Norris, Channel 6 News.
We'll talk about big old fancy homes. Ohio State University football coach John Cooper has plans to build a $700,000 home. He's already picked out the lot right off Riverside Drive and 5th Avenue in Upper Arlington. The 3-level home, about 7,000 square feet, will be built on 3 wooded lots. And up next in sports, Steve has the day off, but Mike Rada is out sweating it off with the ladies football team.
That's right. You know, Wilmington, the Bengals are in Wilmington, the Browns are in Kirkland, Ohio, but they have nothing on the pace setters who are right here in Columbus, Ohio. Their story when we come back.
And that number is 1,035. That's how many dollars you could save on a Celica GTS Extra Value Options Package. Options like power windows, automatic air conditioner, AM/FM stereo cassette, and more. Or save numbers like these on selected Celica GTs or selected STs. Or how about numbers like these? Lease a brand new Tercel for only $88 a month. Just think, you can get an 88 for $88. It all adds up to big savings, only at your Toyota dealer.
The Ohio Lottery presents The New Millionaires with Alex Trebek.
Lottery winners can often make their dreams come true. In a moment, you'll meet one winner who made the dreams of several children come true.
My fairy godmother told me either I could kiss a frog and he'd turn into a handsome prince, or I could win the Super Lotto jackpot. You know what I said? Honey, who are you kidding? Give me the cash.
If I won the Super Lotto jackpot, well, I could coast for a while. Yeah, I think I'd start with the West Coast.
Oh, hey, Kurt. Oh, I got this great joke about how big the Super Lotto jackpot is. Okay, now, stop me if you heard it.
Walter Mark's $7 million lottery win allowed him to help his daughter and son-in-law adopt a house full of foster children, all from the same family. And now, thanks to their new grandfather, they will remain one family. I'm Alex Trebek, and I'll see you soon with another New Millionaire.
Go Krogering for Wyandotte Lake discount tickets.
Save $1.70 off each admission.
Ready, Pepe?
Sure, Jack. I'm no chicken. Ooh!
Boy, the rides are great at Wyandotte Lake. And Kroger discount tickets let you bring the whole family.
I did. Let's go Krogering. Let's go. Let's go.
Beat the heat with Dole fruit and juice or fruit and cream bars, just $2.49. And Betty Crocker brownie sundaes are only $1.99 for a box of 6.
Mike Rada out with sports, and I have to say, Mike, those women behind you look incredibly fit in this heat doing push-ups. Oh.
Yeah, they better be fit because it is hot out here. Now, my first reaction was, how hard do women professional football players play the game? We're going to go up close and personal and show you just how hard these women hit. They leave they throw no caution to the wind here. Watch this. Now, women's professional football has been around here about 15 years. They play on Saturdays at Mohawk Middle School. Clark Donnelly says these women are not a special breed. He says they're just like the lady next door.
Like many active career women, Debbie Fry keeps herself fit with regular exercise. After a day's work, she works out. But Debbie's exercise partners put on pads and helmets, not leotards and leg warmers. They are the Columbus Pace Setters.
It's nice because if you have a hard day at work, you can come and get your aggressions out. You can hit as hard as you want, you know.
Well, if you're like me and you're hearing about this for the first time, you might make the mistake of thinking this is something new. It's not. This team's been in town for more than 14 years. In fact, Pace Setters are one of only 2 remaining original teams of the National Women's Football League.
I think it's had its decline, and we are starting to come back now. Our teams now are starting to get more coverage. We're starting to get bigger crowds. I think we're on the upward drive again. For a while, it was a novelty thing, and then it kind of faded out, and now I think people are ready to accept women playing football.
I like football because it's different. I mean, for me, I like the hitting. I like the contact.
Tackling. Tackling anybody.
And that's something football players of both genders have in common.
Get you one, get you one. 1, 2, hey!
Clark Donnelly, Channel 6 Sports.
Well, I'm not so sure, but I guess the Browns would be a step up. Their training camp continuing in Kirkland, Ohio at Lakeland Community College. One of the big questions is still wide receiver. Webster Slaughter's holding out. The trade for Darryl Turner not working out. The whole situation making Brian Brennan feel left out.
It's disappointing that I don't start for me because I do have a lot of pride and I hate to be the third receiver. But I got to understand that this is a team sport. The main thing is the team.
And baseball, of course, the sport of the season. The showdown in Motown. Detroit and Boston starting a big 5-game series tonight. They're even. They're dead even. Tied for first place. Boston, I'm sure, glad that they're, or rather not glad that they're playing in Detroit, would rather play in Fenway, where they've now won 22 in a row. They won their 22nd straight in Fenway last night. They did it in dramatic fashion, tied at 4 in the 8th, 2 outs, and Jody Reed getting the big base hit to score Ellis Burks and win the game for Boston. 5-4 the final, their 22nd straight home win. They're 19-1 since the All-Star break. Also last night, did you catch the act in Pittsburgh? Montreal's Andres Galarraga had just hit a home run. The next batter up was Hubie Brooks, and John Smiley enforces one of baseball's unwritten laws. Brooks charges the mound and gets off some pretty good licks. They broke this one up. Smiley and Brooks both ejected. Next thing you know, both teams are heading to the tunnels leading to the respective clubhouses for more. That fight lasting only a couple of minutes, though. Expos won the game 6-4. A couple of games today. Cards, Cubs, and Twins were all winners today. And in boxing, Sugar Ray Leonard has made it official. He's going to get back into the ring, fight for the new super middleweight title, the WBC title, against Don DeLonde. It's the third time Ray's come out of retirement. The fight will take place either late October or early November. It's not set quite yet. Now, back to baseball for just a minute. Reggie Jackson was one of the game's most terrific, prolific hitters, but last night, somebody threw a heater that even Reggie couldn't handle. Someone torched his impressive collection of luxury cars. 25 of his 50 cars were burned up, and I'm sure that left Reggie a little steamed himself. I can only imagine what the damage was. Poor Reggie Jackson, all those pretty cars destroyed. These ladies out here destroying some things, too. Each other in this heat. They're tough.
It is hot, Mike. There's no doubt about it. Some people saying, Jim, why are you eating a hot Italian sausage? Why else do you come to the fair? Eat the good food, enjoy it. There's always cool lemonade just around the corner. Of course, thousands of you are heading out here this weekend. You're going to want to know what the weather is. Standing by, Kaz is live at the fair. We'll talk to him about the forecast when we come back.
Friday, Lazarus will take you from day into night with extra shopping hours and savings store-wide. The day into night sale, Friday and Friday night at Lazarus.
I am divorced. I've been divorced for 8 years. This is the first house I have owned on my own. It's not easy. The buck stops with me, but I accept that.
Mary Ann Bixby wasn't alone when she got her home loan. She had Savings of America.
The day that the wallpaper went up in the hall, my daughter said, "Mom, this house sure looks like a female owns it." And I said, "That's fine."
Oh, we grind it on a Monday, a Monday, a Monday. We put a sticker on. Do-do-do-bum. We grind it on a Tuesday, a Tuesday, a Tuesday. We grind it all day long. We grind it on a Wednesday.
Oh, hi, Alex. I was just putting out the ground beef, you know, ground fresh today.
Very good. Max. A Thursday, ow! Several times a day.
Taste the difference. Go Kroger. Grill up savings on fresh ground beef. Just 99 cents a pound when you buy 3 pounds or more.
Oh, the fresh, clean smells of summer. But without Lysol spray, what you might be smelling is mold and mildew. Because Lysol spray kills the fungus that causes mold and mildew. Lysol spray prevents those nasty odors from starting. Ordinary air fresheners just cover them up. So lean back and enjoy the sweet smells of summer. Compliments of Lysol disinfectant spray.
Larry, I was just thinking, any other year, I would be the one who would just love to be out there at the fair. But this year, I think you deserve to be out there in all this heat. It's something out there. 95 degrees, does that sound about right?
Well, temperatures in the middle 90s out on the course here. We're seeing temperatures in the 90s anywhere across the state, Michelle. The key thing is I've come up with a couple ways to beat the humidity. One is, of course, stay indoors. The second, like these kids here, take your mind off and take a little ride on these little fun things here. And that'll be the case all throughout the state fair, I think. Kids ignore the heat and humidity as long as they have rides and lemon shake-ups and things like that to take their mind off it. How about it? We'll talk about today. The high temperature officially only 91, but with high humidity, who was counting? Our low this morning at 72. The normal high and low 84 and 62 with no rainfall. Again, officially, there may be some more. The current conditions say that we've got 91 degrees, relative humidity way high, 54%. Our barometer dropping a bit, 30.06, south wind at 6 miles per hour. Your statewide temperatures, 93 at Defiance, 87 Youngstown, Wendy Horton reporting 90 up at Fredericktown. Well, the view out here is one of extreme heat and humidity. The humidity is sky high here, lots of haze around. We can't beat it, but at least the pollution levels are coming down because we're getting some mixing in the atmosphere. Now, if you're looking for some hope to break the back of this heat wave, we have it tonight on a localized satellite photograph. There is a cold front out to our west. Showers and storms are pretty powerful now by Chicago and Rockford. But you look west of the front, it's 63 degrees at Pierce, South Dakota. 97 officially at Chicago for the high. This cold front may be lurking its way south and eastward tonight and for tomorrow, giving us a chance for some rain and some cooler air, but not really for tomorrow. The highs tomorrow will be mostly in the lower to middle 90s in Ohio. North and west of the front in the 70s and 80s. That 70s and 80s is weakening. It may never make Ohio. But look at the frontal boundary as we go into the area tomorrow night. The front's almost into Ohio. Showers and storms along and ahead of it will be giving us some needed rainfall, maybe some strong weather. Clear skies coming in for a time behind it late tomorrow night into Saturday. I do want to point out, though, if you look up in the sky behind me, you can see cumulus towers building there. Wherever you see those, if you're underneath them, you'll get some heavy rain, and the sky chairs look a very cool place to be. We'll check out our forecast then for tonight. Here's what we have. Scattered thunderstorm activity ending. Partly cloudy skies. A low temperature will drop off to about 72 or 73 most areas. Then for tomorrow, we're going to have some sunshine, also lots of haze and humidity and smoke. Showers and storms in the afternoon. Now, tomorrow night, thunderstorms are going to taper off and end. We'll have clearing late, a low temperature about 70. Our forecast for Saturday, partly sunny, but some more heat bubbling back in. Remember I said the front was weakening? We may get a late-day storm. Temperatures hovering in the upper 80s or around 90. The extended forecast, the heat and humidity with a flow of air off the Gulf of Mexico coming right on back. Temperatures lower 90s daytime, and nighttime lows will be in the 70s. So, Michelle, showers and storms may cool us off a bit tonight, but I think the major outbreak coming tomorrow.
You know,
yeah.
Let me jump in here because I want to just mention, you're right, these kids have the right idea. Catch a little breeze, go around in a circle, and you got it all done.
Have some fun, yeah.
Have some fun indeed. Thanks, Larry. You know, this Thursday is a special day. It's the opening of the State Fair, but every Thursday is special for us because we honor our week's winner in the spirit of Ohio. When we come back, we'll meet a very special lady.
Ready?
In a minute, honey.
It's nice to be noticed for what you wear and how you look. And if you wear dentures, it's nice to know Efferdent cleans away stains and freshens up dentures so well. With Efferdent, all they'll notice is you.
When you have heartburn, you can bet on effective cherry-flavored Rolaids antacid. Calcium-rich, sodium-free, and a winning cherry taste. Cherry-flavored Rolaids. Tastes like cherry, works like Rolaids.
Man conquers Niagara Falls, and we were around. Man builds Hoover Dam, and we were around. Man needs plumber, and we're still around. Find help where you've always found it. Ameritech Pages Plus, the original Ohio Bell Yellow Pages.
Machinery, magazines, magic lessons. Baby, I'll have you on the ground in the flash.
Find the help you need fast with the easy-to-use headings in the Ameritech Pages Plus, the original Ohio Bell Yellow Pages.
If it seems like spending your money has become automatic, Bank Ohio's Red Carpet Service can make saving money automatic. Our systematic savings plan makes regular transfers from your Bank Ohio checking account to your Bank Ohio savings account. Before you know it, you'll automatically have the money you need for the things you want. Ask about this easy way to save. Another Red Carpet Service where you see the red Bank Ohio sign.
Bank Ohio comes through for you.
Grandpa, how about some fresh summer fruit? Doesn't it look good?
Where'd you kids get all this, anyhow?
Oh, out back.
Oh, I see.
Now at Big Bear, save on Keebler family-sized soft batch cookies, $1.69. Folgers Instant Coffee Crystals, $3.99. And Disney Mickey Mouse bars, only $1.99.
You kids are almost like Big Bear.
We're working on it.
Give a Big Bear hug.
These kids have caught the spirit of the Ohio State Fair, and tonight we're going to recognize somebody else who's caught the spirit. Every Thursday night we ask for your suggestions. Tonight, a woman who makes a difference in the lives of our senior citizens. Catherine Fry is one of the most welcome visitors at the Alum Creek Nursing Home. She's an ombudsman between the residents and the staff, someone whose volunteer work every week makes it possible for people here to have their needs met faster and more efficiently. Catherine is one of 30 such volunteers in an 8-county area with one direction in mind.
To make their life better as much as it can be in a nursing home, to make it as much like it would be at home.
And home for Mary Novak is more comfortable because of Catherine. When Mary has a need, she simply asks.
She didn't have it available. She found it for you. She's a friend in every way.
The staff is used to having Catherine buttonhole them to outline the residents' needs. And County Commissioner Dorothy Teeter will tell you that Catherine is one of those who will make the difference. People like Catherine give a personal, caring touch. And when the residents have their needs met, everything runs more smoothly. And if the residents benefit, Catherine will tell you she does too.
I've met these good people. I've met a lot of good friends here. They're nice. There's some fantastic people here. They've had very, very interesting lives and still do.
And still do. She's a nice lady. And tonight at 11 o'clock, we're going to be back at the State Fair, Michelle, but back to you right now.
Alrighty, that's our news for right now. Thanks for joining us. ABC is next. We'll see you at 11. Good night.
Oh, very well. In the case of the space shuttle